News18 Rising India ഉച്ചകോടിയിൽ മധ്യപ്രദേശ് മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി കമൽ നാഥ് സംസാരിക്കുന്നു തത്സമയത്തിൽ.
Good evening and welcome. May I request everyone just to settle down, because we've got a good ringside view of what the story of India is as far as the worldview from Delhi is concerned. What a great pleasure it is for me to honor Mr. Kamal Nath, who happens to have the distinction of being the longest serving parliamentarian, 39 years, and still counting. So huge round of applause for Kamal Nath ji. We all know he's now the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, and in the month of December, in a very vigorously and aggressively fought assembly election, Kamal Nath ji did manage to dislodge Shivraj Singh Chauhan's three-term government. So welcome to Rising India Summit, Kamal Nath ji. Let me just first begin. You came in literally towards the fag end of this conversation which was taking place between the top three cabinet ministers. And according to them, sir, the story of India is the story of rising India. India which has already perhaps risen, India which has risen in a way that we all could have never envisaged. Tell me, now that you have moved to Bhopal, what is the story of India when you look at it from the states?
Well, you know, if when I came in, I saw this slogan, Rising India. If this was Rising India, why would the last elections, closest to the general elections, have had the results they had? And I was just hearing very eminent ministers, my friends, talking about rural India, Swachh Bharat. I was asking myself that how many of them have ever been to a village? And I was asking myself, how many of them have even contested elections? I see this audience here, and you know, I see this audience here, and we'll talk about rural India, we'll talk about Swachh Bharat, we'll talk about delivery systems. Now, I've seen this for the last 40 years. Good policy with bad delivery systems. But this audience, a very distinguished audience, I must say, how much are they connected with rural India? How much are they connected with this country at large?
But let me assure you that this program is going live.
And don't take me amiss,
on News18 MP, in the entire News18 network, which by the way is the biggest news network in India. So आपकी आवाज हिंदी अंग्रेजी जिस भी भाषा में बोलना चाहेंगे
मैं तो मान रहा हूँ, मैं तो सोचता था कि अंग्रेजी का हिंदी का ज्यादा फायदा है.
बिल्कुल.
पर I divide, you know, you can divide this country into rich and poor, backward and forward, but there's one division which we must make, and I want to say this, don't take me amiss, I want to say this in jest. You have the asses, the masses, and the classes. That's also how you can divide this country. And
which category do you belong to? I thought for the longest time you belong to the classes.
I'm not asking them which category they belong to, so I won't tell you which category I belong to. But if I was to ask them, but anyway, we must recognize that how much of this country is rural. How many seats are there in Delhi? How many seats are there in Bombay? How many seats are there in Chennai? How many seats are there in Bangalore? And sitting here in Delhi, we think we know this whole country. This is a very complex country. Take Madhya Pradesh. 70% of the people are agriculturally dependent. They're not farmers. But they're agriculturally dependent because जिसकी किराने की दुकान गांव में है, उसका व्यापार चलता है किसानों की खरीदने की ताकत पर, किसानों की क्रय शक्ति पर. जो ट्रैक्टर ड्राइवर है, उसकी रोजी रोटी जुड़ी हुई है on the farmer, on the agricultural sector, the agricultural labor. The markets of Bhopal and Indore depend upon the purchasing power which originates from the agricultural sector. Now, unless we understand these certain basic facts, there will be economists who will differ with me on many things. But the fact of the matter is this, that it is agriculture which generates so much of economic activity in this country. The disposable incomes, as different to income per capita. You open a screen, you will see income per capita. That's all very well.
Right.
But what are the disposable incomes? Somebody who earns 5,000, who has an income of 5,000, he gets a small job of 5,000-7,000 rupees in a district, a rural district, per month. He can go and buy a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler. Now, 5,000-7,000 rupees in a month, you won't be able to travel to your office. Because that 5,000 rupees in a month, which he gets 5 or 7,000 rupees, is a disposable income. So the challenge before us is how do we create these disposable incomes?
Can I just counter you on that, sir? And और हमारे साथ देखिए बाबा रामदेव भी हैं, प्रसून जोशी जी भी हैं, and Samit Patra is here as well and smiling away, and all of you have had a nice sparring session in the month of December. But this question which is being posed by you, sir, disposable income. मैं आपसे ये समझना चाहता हूं कि आपके विरोधियों का जो सत्तारूढ़ पार्टी है, उनका आरोप आप पर यह है कि आप सबसे लंबे समय तक भारत में आपने राज किया. आज की डेट में भी आप गरीबी को हटाने की बात कर रहे हैं. तो कहीं ना कहीं क्या जो कांग्रेस की इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी थी उसके ऊपर क्या प्रश्न चिन्ह नहीं लगना चाहिए? शुड देयर बी नो क्वेश्चन मार्क ऑन दैट?
क्या गरीबी नहीं हटी?
क्या हटी? क्योंकि आप तो अभी भी
गरीबी नहीं हटी. आज जिस हॉल में आप बैठे हैं, जिस माइक्रोफोन से आप बैठे हैं, ये क्या पिछले 5 साल में है? क्या गरीबी नहीं हटी? क्या गांव में सुधार नहीं हुआ? आप किस बात की बात कर रहे हैं? अपनी आंखें बंद करनी है. अपना देश कहां था और अपना देश कहां पहुंचा? द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट आर यू स्टार्टिंग विथ? यू डिडंट स्टार्ट विथ अ जीरो. वी स्टार्टेड विथ अ जीरो. एंड when you start when you are 60 and you say I've gone to 65, well, you should be ashamed that you would only go to 65 because your starting base was so high. This is the point to understand. Garibi nahi hati desh mein.